In this video I will show you how to cut holes in Blender using a few different methods. And we will not be using the Boolean modifier, as it often takes a lot of time to fix issues, especially when working with organic modeling. Instead, I will walk you through the most common ways of cutting holes. You may come across variations of these techniques in other videos, but let's focus on the basics right now. It will be more than enough for most cases, especially if you are a beginner. So for the first method, you will need the Looptools add-on. Go to Edit, Preferences, then select Get Extension and type Looptools in the search bar. You will see an install button next to it, so you will need to click this install button and you are good to go. The Looptools add-on has many useful features, and one of them will help us create perfect holes. I'm just creating a random object right now to show you how it works, and then I will select the object and subdivide it a few times. So when working on your mesh, make sure the faces and vertices are evenly distributed, otherwise you may encounter artifacts when applying the subdivision modifier. Now I'm selecting faces on both the front and back sides, then pressing W, choosing Looptools and selecting Circle. I'll set the transform pivot point to individual origins and scale everything down like this, and I will also add a subdivision surface modifier with Ctrl+2. But before removing circle faces, I will support the edges with bevel. Now I'll select the faces here and delete them, and you can see we have a perfect circle here. And let's do it one more time, so select the faces again, use the Looptools, circle and adjust the size if necessary. After that remove the faces and you will have a perfect circle. And let's say you need a hole that goes through your object. You can select these faces again, press Ctrl+E and choose Bridge Edge Loops. Now we need to support the edges with bevel, so select the edges on both sides and press Ctrl+B to bevel them. And as you can see, we managed to maintain clean topology on our object while deforming the mesh with Looptools. Here's how the topology looks now. And now I will show you a few ways to make the same cuts on curved surfaces. I'll take this cylinder and subdivide it so the faces form a square, and I will also add a subdivision surface modifier just like this. Now we will start with vertex beveling, so choose the vertex, press Ctrl+B and then V to bevel the vertex. Two segments look good and the shape should be 0.5. After that press W, select Looptools, Circle. Now we need to join our vertices together, so select them and press J, just like you see on the screen. Next, I will simply select the faces and extrude them inward. After that, just like we did before, I will support the edges with a bevel. And you can actually smooth this out by dissolving the outer edge, just like that. Alright, now let's cut this hole using a different method. Again, I will select a few faces, insert them with I, and then press W and select Looptools, Circle. You can play around with the menu here and check or uncheck this option to see what works the best. I will leave Flatten as unchecked. Now you can see the difference in the mesh when I toggle this option on and off, and I think it looks best when it's disabled. Again, extrude and bevel the edges to support them, then dissolve the outer edges. This is how it looks. The cut is smooth and has good topology. Another thing we can do is select faces on the front and back sides of our cylinder, insert them and then turn them into a circle. Press Ctrl+E and select Bridge Edge Loops, and now we have a cut through our curved object that did not require a Boolean modifier. And now I will show you the last method that does not require the Looptools add-on. I have used this one in my modeling tutorial, so if you haven't seen the video yet, go check it out. It has some nice modeling techniques that are useful for beginners. The playlist link is in the description. Alright, so I will just select these faces here, insert them and delete them afterwards. After that, go to the viewport overlays and check the statistics here. I will select the edge loop, and you should pay attention to the number of vertices we have here. I have 8 vertices, as you can see. In your case you may have a different number, so pay attention to that. With this edge loop selected, I press Shift S, cursor to selected, and then I will add a circle with 8 vertices. Now you can adjust its size and rotations. And by the way, before going to the next step, make sure you have the snap target set to vertex. Alright, so what I will do is select this vertex of our main object and, while holding Ctrl, snap it to the vertex of the circle. I will do the same thing with the other vertices as well. And now you can see we have a perfect circle here without using Looptools or Boolean. Method is useful because you can not only make circles with it, but any shape you want, and let me show you that. So I will slightly rotate the circle, select one part and move it slightly. And there is no precision here, I'm just doing this for educational purposes. Again, I will take the vertices of our main object and snap them to our circle. Then you can extrude and bevel the edges. I will do the same thing one more time, so remove the faces, place our circle with 8 vertices somewhere in the middle and snap each vertex one by one. Alright, so that looks nice, and I really hope you learned something new today, and your support is what really helps my channel, so I will leave a link to my PayHip store in the description where you can get scenes from my videos. Thanks for watching and see you next time.